This meeting is called to order in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. This meeting of December 2nd, 2024 was published in the Courier News and Star Ledger and placed on the borough's website. Notice of this meeting was also placed on the bulletin board at Borough Hall. A copy of this notice is available to the public, and a copy of the statement shall be included in the minutes of this meeting. Mayor Brian Gallagher.
Here.
Council members, Teresa Bonner is excused this evening. Glenn Denny.
Here.
Tom Mitchell.
Here.
Randy Pitts is excused this evening. Gina Stravic is excused this evening. Roger Vroom.
Here.
All right, please stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, motion for approval of the minutes of November 18, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Council members, Glenn Denny.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
All right, departmental reports are as noted. We do have a slight change. Our reorganization meeting, which is on January 1 at 12 noon, is being moved from the high school. It will now be held at the Somerville Middle School. So we will start to publicize that so people are aware, so we don't have folks showing up at a place where we're not going to be. We have up next resolution. Let's pass the resolution first, and then we can begin the business of the day. Can I have a motion on Resolution 349, approving the hiring of Brendan O'Brien as police officer effective January 1, 2025?
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Council members, Glenn Denny.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
All right, oath of office. Come on up, Mr. O'Brien.
Jen?
Raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible, and you're going to repeat after me. I,
I,
state your name,
Brendan O'Brien,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and alliance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States and in this state,
and to the governments established in the United States and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of police officer
all the duties of police officer
for the Borough of Somerville,
for the Borough of Somerville,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Chief, if you want to say a few words.
Yeah, just a few words. You can grab a seat. I want to thank you guys for being here. We actually ended up with several people that Officer O'Brien currently works with, which is really nice to see. That's not a common occurrence for all the years I've been involved with this. So it's nice that you guys came up. Thank you, your new coworkers, for coming up. It shows strength and support, which is very nice. We ran a process, and Officer O'Brien came out #1 on that process. Thorough background check. He's got 2 years' experience as a police officer currently. I believe it's 2, right at 2?
Yeah, just
Okay. And he'll be starting January 1st. He will be with a training officer, and what we're gonna do is get you to understand and know and learn about Somerville. And Officer O'Brien also has another helpful benefit. His neighbor's retired Sergeant Covert. So that's kind of how, he did a brief internship with us here. So he's a little bit familiar with town, and we expect you to get to know the town, the way it works, and everybody attached to it. And we like communication, solving problems and communication. Mayor?
Thank you, Chief, and congratulations. I love these days when we swear in a new officer. our officers, you're going to find that our officers, I'm a little bit jaded, but I think they're the best. I really do. They protect a town that is like no other. I call it 2.5 square miles of awesome. And they, and now you, are that front line, keeping our families safe. And that's not a job, it's a calling. Not everybody can do this. It's not an easy job, but it's extremely rewarding when it's done well and it's done right. When you have that tough day, remember this day. Everybody smiles, everybody's happy, and when you have that really tough day and it's just like, ugh, just remember this day. You're going to find that the people in this town are very warm, they're very caring, and they care about our officers. When you're driving around, wave to them. Everybody loves to see an officer wave. So be really friendly with those that are good citizens and go after the bad guys with a vengeance. That's all that I ask of you. And you'll have the support of myself and this council, and as well as all of the officers that line the back wall here. It's just, it's great to have you. We're excited to have you, and congratulations. Thank you. And you don't have to stay. So let's take a 30-second recess while the room clears. Thanks, Chief.
Listen, you gotta get him on this early, so he doesn't think otherwise.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Chief.
Should we shut this door when we go?
No. No. Thank you. All right. All right, back in session. Let's go on to committee reports. Tom?
Okay. Mark Abraham of Public Works met with the contractor to discuss installation of a gutter and leader system to direct rainwater away from the fire museum. The November meeting of the Historic Advisory Committee was adjourned due to lack of a quorum. And finally, Santa Claus is coming to the Holiday Jubilee this Friday, December 6th. The Jubilee runs from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Always fun. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Glenn?
Thank you. Well, and then after you experience the Jubilee, stay around on Saturday for the 13th annual Light Parade sponsored by the Fire Department. We'll be starting right around 6 o'clock once it gets nice and dark, and then we'll be driving throughout town. You can check out the new route on at somervillenj.org, and that is this Saturday the 7th. It's always a good time.
Great, awesome, thank you. Roger?
So this past Thursday, obviously Thanksgiving, but we had the 9th annual Turkey Trot. This was a amazing race due to the weather. It's truly tremendous to see how many people will show up and run in the rain with smiles on their faces. And they were happy to do it. And my son participated, my brother-in-law, and obviously Councilman Denis and his entire family were there. So and Mayor Gallagher, everyone took a part in it. I did my best to clap. So that was my contribution. But I would like to, on behalf of the committee, thank everyone for the amount of time that it takes to put together an event like that. It's always one of those circumstances where everything seems calm and on the surface, but underneath the flippers are going. And there's a lot of time spent getting the bibs together, getting the donations, getting everything that needs to happen to make it a successful event. So thank you to staff members, thank you to the volunteers, thank you to the members of the committee. Again, thank you to the participants that make it such a special event in the borough. And hopefully next year, it'll be a little less wet and have even more participants. So thank you everyone for their support.
Awesome, great, good stuff. All right, at this point, I'll ask for a motion to open the meeting to the public.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion, roll call.
Council members Glenn Denny.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
All right, public meeting is open. Please state your name and address for the record, and please address your comments to me.
Good evening, Dr. Gran Brady, 9 Lee Way. 8 years ago, Mayor Gallagher, you appointed me to head up the Emergency Services Facilities Committee. I accepted, and after my initial meeting with police, fire, rescue, and the county, I turned to the gentleman who was seated next to me and I said, "Colin, could you help me out with this?" Without hesitation, Colin Driver accepted my challenge, and that culminated in the new facility on Gaston Avenue. I want to publicly acknowledge Colin Driver's contribution to this fantastic facility. Without him, it would have never been built. Colin is a consummate professional who's never asked for recognition. He managed the process from locating a company, which was FD Stonewater, to design, build, and lease the project to us, to its completion, which we all know is a magnificent structure. Colin worked with me every step of the way. But not only is he a consultant to the borough, he is my very good friend. So thank you, Colin, for all you've done. Future generations are not going to remember who did this work, but they will acknowledge how well it was done and how much effort went into it. And I thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to close the public session.
So moved?
Second.
Discussion, roll call.
Council members Glenn Denny.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
So rarely does Colin turn red. He turned red. And I echo your sentiments, Grant. There's a whole lot of people to thank over the course of many, many years, decades, in fact. Colin, Kevin, in the recent, and yourself as well, Rich O'Neill. There's a lot of folks that drove this to its completion. As you may or may not know, we held open houses, and over the course of 2 Saturdays, we probably had 250 people come through, Rich? Yeah, and I can tell you, I did not receive one complaint about it. I received a constructive suggestion from many people, the same one, which was striping the street to make sure when the trucks pull out, they can pull out safely, which is something we will have to go after DOT on. And there was only one, and it wasn't even a complaint, it was more a reflection of history and how are the 4 companies going to all meet here at the same time and separately, and not understanding that it's now a combined department. So, you know, it met with a lot of kudos, which I think is good. It is. It's built for the next 50 years, 100 years. It's built to grow into. It's built to flex with the changing needs of fire, police, squad, OEM, and there's a lot to thank. Colin in particular, Kevin in particular, Rich, Frank McAlevey, yourself, people up and down the line. And also those in police, fire, OEM, and squad for having the fortitude to make it happen, because you're dealing with a whole lot of personalities, and very strong personalities, I might add. And they managed to align 90% of them and bring it to fruition. So, you know, at the turn of the year, it should begin to be occupied, and we'll be responding out of there very shortly. So, thank you. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. Item number 11 is ordinance for introduction. This is ordinance 2753, amending Chapter 102-69, General Requirements. This is updating the items that are required for preliminary site plan application. This is the submissions that must be made. Some of the issues we're changing. Typically, you would have to submit very large 24 by 48 plans and we'd have to get about 25 copies of those plans. We're entering the 21st century. We're entering actually the 20th century in the 21st century, and we're looking at getting PDFs. But we're also going to get printed ones, but they'll be downsized. They don't need to be the big, huge plans anymore. So this just begins to button up that process of what's appropriate to be submitted with that application. Again, we don't have to, but I always hold a public comment portion on introduction. So I'll ask for a public comment on 2753. Hearing none, I'll close public comment, ask for a motion for introduction.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Council members Glendinning.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
All right, ordinance for public hearing and adoption. This is 2749, amending ordinance as stated, establishing a salary range for employee titles to be paid for certain officers and employees of the Borough of Somerville. This is the minimum maximum salary guide that the borough uses for all of our positions. I'll ask for a motion for the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Council members Glendinning.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Public hearing on 2749 is now open. Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Council members Glendinning.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
2749 is closed. Motion for introduction, please.
So moved.
I mean, sorry, motion for adoption.
For adoption.
I correct myself.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, this is just a standard bookkeeping. Every year we raise the salary ranges. Strange they never go back down again. That's the way it is.
Roll call.
Council members Glendinning.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
All right, consent resolutions. Are there any that would like to be pulled off for further discussion?
Yes, please. Number 354, 356, and 357.
Okay. 350, approving scorekeepers at a rate of $18 per game for the Recreation Department. 351 is approving Anthony Smith as an hourly employee at a rate of $25 for the basketball gym supervisor. 352 is approving new taxi owner license for the year 24-25. 353 is approving release of the retainage to pave right for the basketball court improvements at Michael Lepp Park. 355 is approving a contract with the Chief of Police from January 1, 2024 through December 31, 2026. 358, awarding a contract to KRS IT Consulting to provide information technology solutions and technology support. 359 is accepting a grant of $9,956 and approving Chapter 159 from Statewide Insurance Fund for General Safety and Risk Management Control. 360 is awarding a contract to Danker LLC for the installation of specialized furniture for emergency services facility. 361 is authorizing mayor and municipal clerk to execute settlement agreement with the Somerville Superior Officers Association. 362 is accepting a grant of up to $293,319 from the Hazardous Discharge Site Remediation Fund Program through the New Jersey Economic Development Authority and the DEP. 363 is adopting the land use escrow agreement to be utilized as part of the land use application checklist. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Council members Glendinning.
Yes.
Tom Mitchell.
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
All right, 354 is memorializing the authorization for the purchase of bond anticipation notes in the amount of $1 million from the Borough of Prospect Park. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, my question, looks to me like we're loaning $1 million to this other town. Is that correct?
That's correct, Councilman. We've done this before. It's under the authority of the CFO and bond counsel for review of that. The documents have been processed for this. This is memorializing that event taking place for record-keeping purposes. About 5 years ago, the state allowed municipalities that had adequate surplus to lend other municipalities money at an interest rate that's acceptable. So our interest rate that we're receiving for this is 4.75%, which is greater than the interest rate we receive on other investments.
So that's what I look, it's not a loan, it's an investment. It's a short-term investment.
It's a short-term investment, yeah.
It actually sounds like better than the interest rate we're paying on the loans that we've taken out.
I'm sorry?
I'd say it looks like it's a better interest rate than we are paying on the loans that we have taken out.
It has. I mean, obviously, the bond market fluctuates based on, you know, the volatility in the market, but that rate is, because it's short-term, it's something that the Prospect Park, you know, finds amenable to doing. We do share a bond council, which makes it a little more easier to do these type of investment opportunities.
Excellent.
All right, roll call.
Council members: Glenn Denny,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Okay. 356 is authorizing a tax appeal for the property located at 956 Highway 22, also known as Block 95, Lot 15, in the Borough of Somerville, Somerset County, New Jersey. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Yeah, I'm just wondering which business is this? Which building?
Taco Bell, I believe.
I don't know I don't know the trading, what's trading there, to be honest with you. I know the facility, you know, the location because of the tax appeal, but I don't, are you asking about businesses there?
You know, just wondered what it was that was.
I mean, it's an appeal made by the property owner. It's an appeal made by a successful appeal made by the property owner, which the owners have requested.
So it may
a
not
refund
even be
on.
the business
Yeah.
that's housed there. It's, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Roll call.
Council members: Glenn Denny,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
All right, 357 is authorizing Chapter 159 from the National Opioid Settlement Trust. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Now, this is is this a grant?
No, this is a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit we've been involved with a couple of years ago. This is the payment we receive from the defendants in the case that settled the matter. There are several pharmaceutical companies and other companies affiliated with the use of that was involved in the opioid class action settlement. So this is funding that we receive. Our budget doesn't. The way the funding comes in is you know, we don't we aren't notified before the budget adoption. So when it comes in afterwards, we have to amend the budget in order to accommodate this. The monies that are coming in for this will be utilized for opioid awareness and other things. We've used it a couple times already. Challenge Day for the high school, and we did a workshop over at the high school as well. But the Municipal Alliance has kind of been the shepherd of these funds as they come in. But you know, we will be receiving funds like this for a significant amount of time.
But it's not going into general revenue.
It can't, because it has to be used specifically for areas that are identified in the class action lawsuit, which kind of circles around opioid awareness, opioid rehabilitation, things of that nature. But there's a whole listing of things that are eligible to utilize these funds for.
There's a lot of flexibility, it sounds like.
Not as much as I would desire, but certainly enough flexibility that as long as it's within that space, it's okay. So we you know, it can't be used for general operating. So, you know, these are programs that would get established by other nonprofits that we would provide grant money for them to carry out some of these projects. So we kind of, we'll be evaluating more next year because these funds are growing in our treasury. So we're looking at either an opportunity to do a larger scale event or to do some smaller ones. So the Municipal Alliance will be studying that next year in order to decide, you know, what type of event would have the most impact in our neighborhoods.
Would the DARE program qualify for this?
The DARE program does not qualify, so but there are programs that that could serve the same purpose. When I say DARE program does not qualify, like the purchase of DARE T-shirts does not qualify. It's an area that we are and have kind of struggled with. But right now, there's not a flexibility on that.
Yeah,
So-
the latest use of the funds was for Not an Easy Fix.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're familiar with that nonprofit. They're local folks who lost a son to the opioid crisis, and they've started a foundation, a fund, a nonprofit to battle that. And the borough has helped them to put on educational and awareness campaigns.
Very good, very good.
Roll call.
Council members Glenn Denny,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
Yes,
Roger Vroom.
Yes,
All right, Roger, bills and vouchers.
this month, the number is a lot smaller than last. I make a motion to pay bills and vouchers in the amount of $1,080,469.25.
second,
Discussion. Roll call.
Council members Glenn Denny,
Yes.
Tom Mitchell,
yes.
Roger Vroom.
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell, I'll ask you for a motion for adjournment.
Motion for adjournment.
Second?
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This meeting is adjourned.